Park. This is the side of the Spree River, just in the middle of the park. Like, opposite side of it to where we've been before. We're taking Rowan this morning to the giant play park. Of course, why not? The inside of the cheese. So I was asked what my eventual goal is, and I don't really have one. I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I'm doing a day count because I wanted to do a vlog every single day. I'm gonna see if I can get up to a full year of vlogging once a day, but we'll see. Day 223 is my friend's wedding. That's gonna be like, you know, that's gonna be like the point that I want to be as low as I can be at that point, you know, like I want to be around about 80, 85, something like that, maybe even 75 if I can. But I find a new goal every day, pretty much. Like in this case, ladder. Also a ladder. I want to get to a point where I feel like I can take my son up and then bring him down a slide. Of course, at the minute, I think it might be a bit of a squeeze. I don't know, what do you reckon? Yeah.
Hello and welcome to day number 87. Now, I do believe there's been a little bit of stuff in Treptower Park just there. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of Berlin. It's a beautiful part of the city. I really enjoy living quite close to it. You know, close enough to walk to anyway. I need to, when I eventually get like some extra camera equipment and stuff, when I get you know, when I get what I'm planning, which is a gimbal and some sort of drone or something like that, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna get as much footage of around it as I can, because I think that would be an absolutely beautiful video to put out. Just here you go, here's what all of Treptower Park looks like. So yeah, like that's a plan. That's a plan. Now, I have checked, as I said in yesterday's video, what it was that Lisa had asked. And she had asked me to clarify my goals. Now, I seem to recall there being a bit of footage in the Treptower Park segment there, where I actually talk about it, to some extent. So let's lay it out, because I don't actually know whether or not I've laid it out properly. So we'll cover it as best I can, with just my rambling sort of way. So, the reason I've got a date count, the reason I do a day 1, day 2, day 3, is I wanted to do a daily vlog, a once a day entry, as if it was a diary more than anything else. Just detailing everything, and so that I could look back and see exactly how things were going. So I could look at food that I'd eaten, and I could talk to myself and others about what was going on, and I guess, like, as a little bit of a conceit, in the hope that if someone else was Googling videos, like, you know, like I did, like Penn Jillette weight loss, Kevin Smith weight loss, like, potato diet, how do I lose weight, I'm struggling, what can I do, etc. I would come up, and hopefully someone would see you can follow along with something like this and, you know, maybe find that I was having the same difficulty as they are or something like that, and then like find out where they were and then come back in. A thing that a thing that frustrates me to no end with vlogs that I watch anyway is they're not necessarily time-stamped and you don't get them suggested in any particular order by YouTube. It just shows you like whatever it thinks the best one for you to watch will be. But it doesn't like go through one by one by one by one unless that person's organized them into a playlist, which I did do eventually. I was a little bit late on that. I thought it was just putting them in order, but it wasn't. Hi. Peace. Oh, we've been visited by Ronan, we've been visited by Sigurda, so that's all nice, isn't it? Yay. Right. Yeah, so I just wanted to have a way of keeping track of it more than anything else. It's not that there's a defined endpoint or anything. I mean, I've got a couple of goals. You know, I do try and come up with something new that I want to aim for and push for every single day. Like, why not? My goal is hopefully before the year is out, before day 223, to be down to under 80 kilos. I mean, it's a very soft goal. I don't mind if I'm not. It would just be nice if I kept up like an amount of weight loss and hit a certain point. I don't think there is a plan to just stop eating like this outright, which is whole food, plant-based, like starch-based sort of diet. I think I'm just going to keep that up probably from now up until, I don't know, up until I get to a point where I'm not really concerned about living that much more, you know, like I can't guarantee exactly when that will be, but I'm starting to think like I might actually make it to beyond my 50s without having a massive coronary attack, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Like there's short-term goals. In, you know, next week I want to be 113, 112 kilos, maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. The week after I want to be like 111, 110, like whatever it happens to be. I have midterm goals, which is, you know, the beginning of phase 3 of the diet, of actually just like losing even more than I've lost before. Like my second goal, if you like, is hit 100 kilos dead, because that's as low as I got the first time that I was losing weight back in Bristol. And that was when I did it like properly, and I was looking at everything I was eating, I was calorie counting, I was doing this, I was doing that, and I was, if I can get to that point, hopefully a lot quicker than I got down from 132 to 116, then I'll be happy. But you know, I know that weight loss sort of peters off. It's not a you know, straight suicide dive. It's a steady bell curve sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, long-term goals is I want to turn up to my friend's wedding and just be able to take nice photographs of me in attendance there for them. Because the last couple of times I've had photographs taken by friends, like it doesn't work out well. like especially the last time I was in Bristol, my friend Rachel, who when I was going to the gym constantly in Bristol, she was coming along as well. It was like me and her, and we would go on the cross trainers for a little bit, like 40 minutes. And then we would go off and do some weights and stuff. And at that point, she would call it and go home. And I would go on the rowing machines for an hour. Like, me and her would always be down at the gym together, just doing stuff and getting everything sorted. Because we weren't parents, we both were looking for work and trying to sort stuff out. And when I was last in Bristol a couple of years ago for a funeral, she took a photograph of me sitting on the sofa, and because she was sat on the floor with her child at that point, because it was, was it just after Rowan had been born? Yeah, it was just after Rowan had been born, I think. I think Rowan was Rowan was about 6 months old, maybe. And yeah, like I'm sat on this sofa playing with my phone, like talking to Saguta and checking on how the boy is and how she's coping. And she was sat on the floor and she took a photograph of me, and I look like, I'm not gonna lie to you, honestly, it looked like Jabba the Hutt was sat on the sofa. It was awful. Like my like fat folds were up here, and like I was just like this mound of mashed potato. It looked so bad, and I begged her to delete the photograph. Where what I should have actually done at the time was go, hot damn, I need to do something about that. And yeah, like, I want to not be that guy at the wedding. I want to not be just another blob of mashed potato. Like, I want a photograph of me to actually be good. Like, I've taken some good photographs, don't get me wrong. Like, but they're always pretty curated angles, let's say. Like, this is probably like one of the worst angles for me, where I'm just like talking directly at you. But even then, like, I'm sat forward and upright in the chair. If I was sat back like this, like, you know, like start getting doughy again. So yeah, like I just want to take a good photograph. I want to look good. I want to not die. I want to be here for a lot longer for my son. Yeah, like, I don't know if I'll ever quit entirely whole food plant-based. Oh, it's pretty tasty, actually. I'm really surprised. Like, I keep saying this, but honestly, for someone who was eating meat every single meal, every single day, apart from extremely rare occasions, like, we're talking like once every 3 months or more, where I would eat just a vegetarian dish. And even then, that was like cheese and oil and that sort of stuff. Like, this has been ridiculously easy to stick to, just not eating meat and dairy and stuff. I mean, like, yeah, I break it every now and again, and I have dairy and stuff, but I don't miss meat as much as I thought I would. And that is still just a weird thing for me to think of and talk about every single time. It really is. But, you know, like, at some point I am going to have some again. I don't know when. I mean, like, Christmas dinner, I imagine, will probably be A1, because, oh man, Christmas dinner. There is nothing I like more for a Christmas dinner than a prawn cocktail. Like, literally just like giant tiger prawns and shrimp and stuff in Mary Rose sauce. And like, just like a slice of lemon and some like nice crisp lettuce and stuff. Oh yeah, that's how you start out Christmas lunch. That's how you start out Christmas dinner. And like sage and onion stuffing, turkey and gravy, pigs in blankets. Like, come on, like, Christmas dinner is the one. And like, we've got, like, my little brother is a trained chef. Like, he makes Christmas dinner so much better than my mum. I don't even care if she watches this. She already knows, because she had a Christmas dinner that he'd made for the first time years ago, and she sat there and went, "This is better than mine," and just carried on eating it. It, like, honestly, his Christmas dinners are amazing. If we can, we always try and get him to cook it, or at least be involved in the process and guide us along the way, which usually turns into him just doing it because he's better at following his own instructions than we are. But yeah, Christmas dinner is definitely a one that I'm gonna go out on. I don't know, but yeah, like, I don't know. Things are up in the air, in all honesty. I think either after the wedding or after 365 days, I'll switch down to like one vlog a week, maybe. Like, weight loss specific anyway. The beer review channel, if I did do a beer review channel, if that's what I go into, like, that would probably be like my cheat for every 2 weeks, maybe. Like, I don't know. It's hard to figure out at this exact moment, like, what my diet or lifestyle is gonna look like at that point, because at the minute I'm still struggling to just like get everything right and just like lose the weight and try and not yo-yo back up again. Once I'm down at that point, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to like experiment and find my own like maintenance level. Like, is it having one day a week where I drink a beer and produce a video and there we go? Is it I can only do that once every 2 weeks, otherwise I start like going back up a little bit too much? Is it that by that point I'll be completely and utterly teetotal because I just don't like going back and sliding back on myself whenever I have beer? I spent like 3, 4, 5 years. I can't remember even exactly how long it was. I just know it was a very, very long time. It was from the moment that I started learning to drive, pretty much, or just before I got my license anyway, in the UK, for a very long time. Like, yeah, a few years at least. And I just stopped drinking because, like, I'd seen a couple of people have accidents because they were drunk or had been drinking, or, you know, I knew that someone had gone out drink driving and I knew that something bad was going to happen to them. And I didn't want that. I didn't want anything to do with that. And because my mum was, you know, all of a sudden not able to get around as much because, like, my little brother might need picking up, or my sister, you know, we needed someone to drive cars around. And if it was an emergency, I needed to go as soon as possible because I wasn't living in my hometown anymore. I just stopped drinking completely. And I didn't drink for years. And that was fine. Like, I just stopped one day and went, okay, maybe I'll do that again. I mean, I cut alcohol out pretty much entirely for the first month, maybe even a little bit more than that. And then on day 31, day 32, that was my first cheat day. That's where I had beer again. And yeah, like, it was fine. I can take it or leave it, in all honesty. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's still nice to have a beer on a hot day or where you're particularly stressed or something. Like, there's just something about the ritual of, like, sit down, open beer, get a couple of snacks, just sit, watch movie, have this mild intoxicant. Like, something about that entire ritual is just calming. But I don't know, we'll see. There's plenty of time to think about it and figure out where we're going, stuff like that. So, oh, dearie me. Right, day 87 was also a very, very interesting day. So day 87 was yesterday, and I had some breakfast. I had a bowl of cereal, I want to say. I think I had that. And I took Rowan out to play in the play area, as you saw in the opening bit, you know, over in Treptower. And when I got back, I hadn't had lunch or anything, and it was starting to get a little bit late. It was around about like 2, 3 o'clock or something. And I said to myself, do you know what? It's been a very long time since I cooked, and I seem to remember someone asking for a recipe for my chili for the very, very first thing that I made, or something like that. It was way back in like within the first 10 days or 14 days or something. So I decided I would actually cook and I would record it. And I would test out some camera equipment, some bits that I'd got, and some new culinary equipment. So that video should be getting edited together as well. Oh, what's wrong? Yeah, so I decided I would cook. This was a complete whim. I just wanted to test some stuff out, test out this new legally distinct brand from GoPro action cam thing. As well as I got one of those choppers that the Jessica and Brian have. Oh dear. So where were we? Ah, right. Okay. So yeah, I got one of those chopper box things that Jessica and Brian have and talked about in one of their videos, the appliances and stuff. Because I've kind of been intrigued for a little while, and I figured, you know what, let's give it a go. Now, my review of it is, for some reason, it seems to work better on certain parts of vegetables than others. Onions are a bit of a pain, but only like the very outer layers of the onion. Peppers are kind of okay. Actual chili peppers, really easy. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's just that I'm not used to it or that I was using it slightly wrong. But anyway, I used it for this cooking video, and do you know what? It was so much quicker. I mean, even with the fact that I was actually like setting up shots and I was trying to record everything and make it look nice and this, that, and the other, it worked really well. Actually, it just felt like so much less of a chore for chopping and getting everything cooked together. So, now, obviously, you know, you're gonna see the plating in the actual video if you watch the recipe. But here's what it looked like when I was finished. Now that looked pretty good, and you know what? It was really tasty. It's actually quite a spicy chili. I'm gonna have to put some sort of disclaimer in the actual video about like not having measurements for spices and stuff, because I don't know, I just threw stuff together and thought that it looked about right. I mean, I was recording into the pot for the entire time when I was putting stuff in, so I guess we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, completely on a whim, we've now got 2 The Great Potato Makes videos. Yeah, not bad. Have to do some more later once I figure out the next thing that I want to cook. But yeah. So all good. I think, in all honesty, that's us caught up as well. Like I need to record my intros and my voiceover and things for day 87. Not for day 87, for the cooking video at this exact moment in time. But do you know what? Like, yeah, I can do that easily. Day 88 is today, if I've got that right. So I guess we'll come back later and we'll record again, and hopefully we'll have something interesting to say. And then at that point we should be all caught up. This is going to be like 4 or 5 videos. I'm going to have to just edit and drop all at once. But never mind. This is, you know, this is life, ain't it? So, yeah. Right. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.